the Vladimir Klitschko press conference. Remember Klitschko was there like, yeah, and he didn't turn up. So everyone's giving me a stick, and he was contractually obliged to go to that. I weren't. I wasn't contractually obliged to go to any press conference with him, So
you've been here in Portugal in a great camp. You've been here for nearly 2 years now since you first drove down here. And you've had fights. You've been preparing well. But was there part of you that wanted to be there to maybe answer some of the things he was saying and some of the things that the people in the Tyson Fury business have been saying about you? Is there a part of you who wants to answer that, Dillian?
I don't care, man. Listen, I don't care what Tyson Fury says. Tyson Fury says a lot of his mouth's like a toilet. Just keeps on flushing and flushing and flushing and flushing. That's Tyson Fury. Like, he just flush any random that comes out of his mouth. So I don't really care about what he says or what he does. But me and him's going to have a fight regardless.
Yeah.
We're going to get in there. We're going to fight regardless. You know what I mean? So I don't care what he says. I don't care about mind games. And I don't care about all of that. Listen, I'm a fight. I'm a warrior. If he wants it, anytime, anywhere, I'm down. I don't give a about this and the other and whatever, but he can say what he wants. He says, Tyson Fury is king of mind games and he likes to. I don't care. It doesn't mean anything to me. He can't get in my head. He gets in my head, he's just going to find a lot of disturbance in there, so don't give a
We're in camp here. We had the purse strings eventually.
Those are the words of Dillian the Body Snatcher Whyte as he claims that Tyson Fury's mouth is like a toilet. And he states that Tyson Fury couldn't get in his head, and if he did, he would only see disturbance. First of all, shout out to BT Sports for asking the right type of questions. I would like to know if he would like to be confrontational with Tyson Fury, and that was the one thing. The interaction, the tone, how people reacted, did they seem to one get up under the other's skin? What made the other tick? You know what I mean? What pushed that other person's button? Those are the type of things that I would like to know. Just like that interviewer asked, like, hey, was it a part of you that want to be there? And he was like, no, I don't care. He really didn't answer it as though, well, how I thought that he would, you know what I mean? Because that's what people wanted. That's the whole idea of a press conference, getting two fighters together, talking shit, promoting themselves, promoting the fight, the idea of the fight, by the smack talk, by the interaction, to see exactly what they're going to do versus what they say versus what they're going to do fight night, to build the fight, to, the steam up the promotions, you know what I mean? That's what we came to see, and we didn't see that. Now, Dillian Whyte did remind people like, well, this is the type of guy that pulls out the day of the fight and this, that, and the other, and I kind of see what he's talking about, because what he's saying is, well, why would you waste time talking up a fight that may or may not happen based off of Tyson Fury and his track record? Well, I can say this to Tyson Fury's defense. He has fought the last two fights without, well, I can't say without, because we supposed to saw Tyson Fury take on Deontay Wilder July 24th, if you guys can remember. Then he's supposed to have had COVID, and then the COVID turned into him hanging out with everybody, which didn't make sense. It went from him, his training camp, and then to him, he has it, and then to him going out and, spending money and renting cars at very, very expensive places and yachts, and him hugging people and all that. So I think it's crazy, because I feel that Dillian Whyte doesn't really have the faith in Tyson Fury that Tyson Fury will show up, because, Tyson Fury was giving him stick about not showing up, but basically they did the same thing. It's just Tyson is really unpredictable with what he has to say and what he does. But his last two fights have went according to plan for the most part. So that's what I can say about Tyson Fury. And as far as the Klitschko stuff, I mean, dude, that was really a long time ago. You know what I mean? That was, 7 years ago now. And I haven't seen him do that in a while. And for the most part, Tyson Fury, though, is cleaning up his act, so to speak. He is somewhat more dependable than he was of old. But a lot of people don't forget the things that he's done in the past, and his past will always seem to haunt him. And the more things that Tyson Fury does that may make or convince people or certain people that he is the best heavyweight in the world, it's going to be other people that doubt that based on something that he once did. You know, if that makes sense. But is Tyson Fury a toilet mouth? Yeah, he's a toilet mouth. He says whatever's on his mind, whatever comes to mind, whatever he thinks, therefore he's going to say, even though something he said Tuesday might contradict something he said Thursday. But nonetheless, he's going to say it. You know, I would just like to know, though, from Dillian Whyte, he claims that Tyson Fury can't get in his head, because you guys know that I believe that Tyson Fury is the number one trash talkingest heavyweight that we have in this era, right? And him saying, well, he can't get in my head. Well, let's see, right? How do we know he can't get in your head? Counterpunch. We don't know if Tyson can get in your head or not, because we haven't seen a situation or a platform or an opportunity for you guys to be toe-to-toe, face-to-face, talking this and that, right? We haven't seen that. So we haven't seen Tyson Fury attempt to work his gypsy magic on the speed of the tongue against you or not. You know, because one thing we do know about Dillian Whyte, you can piss him off. You better ask Derek Chisora about that, right? You better ask him, because that's exactly what Derek Chisora did. And what he did almost worked, because Derek, just a lot of times, a lot of situations, for a lot of people, they thought that Derek Chisora beat Dillian Whyte, because Dillian Whyte was drug into a street fight with Derek Chisora, and he was right where Derek wanted him to be. Okay, and they went 12 rounds in that shit. And I mean, these were brutal rounds where both of these guys beat the crap out of each other, you know, and I think it was due to the splashing of the water or the throwing of the chair at Dillian, the body snatcher Whyte. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Dillian Whyte saying that Tyson Fury has a trash mouth. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.